Welcome back to more Yoshi's Island Low Score Challenge. Let's get into level 16. There are no new enemies in this level, however, as the title would suggest, we do get a cool variation. We get Shy Guys on stilts. Who would have guessed? The only real difference between Shy Guys on stilts and normal Shy Guys is to actually eat them and make them into eggs. You have to jump on their head first. I've always kind of wanted to learn how to use stilts, but I'm afraid that I would hurt myself, and I'm also not really sure where you'd find stilts. This upcoming jump is actually fairly tricky. You're going to want to first knock down this block at right about there. A little bit more to the left or right is fine, just like in that vicinity. And then you're going to want to jump at just the right arc to avoid all of the coins in the arc to the going up, because all of those are red coins. And so you kind of have to get just the right angle so that you can do that and actually flutter jump up like I did there. Once you've completed that jump, you are almost home free, seeing as that is easily the hardest jump in the level. Back on the surface, with just a little bit of caution, you should be good to go. Just be sure not to jump on any of these Shy Guys' heads and actually bounce into that flower, because I have done that on multiple occasions. Just watching Yoshi do these ground pounds, I really hope that's a female dinosaur. Here we have another really simple junior spelunking experience. These caves really don't get hard until a little bit later. As you can see, we're almost already out. When we're on the surface, we only have one shot at actually getting a 0 on our timer, or we'll need to reset. So pause, take a deep breath, and collect yourself. Now this 1-up is actually a Shy Guy posing as a 1-up. And so you have one shot to get hit, and then you're going to want to just jump through and get it all timed perfectly, just like so. Level 17 is one of the most iconic levels in the game, but I can't really tell you, I have to show you. We'll be seeing one new enemy in this level, the Melon Bug, who's actually harmless and helps us out with a pretty cool exploit that I'll be showing off in the video. First off, you're going to want to make sure to grab one of these Melon Bugs, because you're going to need them. Just be careful not to do what I do here. Kill them both. However, all is not lost. You can easily go back and grab any Melon Bug that you didn't kill, or there are two right there. What you're going to want to do here is spit out your Melon Bug and make sure to kill all of those enemies, as well as the 3 on screen right here. And don't spit it into the hole. Now, I'm being very careful here just because I don't want to lose the Melon Bug, because it's really an integral part of the exploit, because as you can see there, we got one 1-up. And if we shoot the Melon Bug into that hole and then stand here, you can get infinite 1-ups. If you actually wait about an hour, you can get 999 lives if you have the patience or the desire. Now, you may be asking, how do you get past that flower? We're going for zero score, right? Is it just unavoidable? The answer is no. You're gonna have to do some pretty tricky platforming, but it is possible. You just have to get everything lined up just right. So first, you want to take a Shy Guy and spit him out at just the right angle, and get him at basically the furthest edge of that platform as possible, and do a flutter jump. And if you get everything just right, then it should work. Everything really has to be just right, though. It's very difficult. However, when you reach the top, you can actually do a pretty cool and very long flutter jump if you time everything just right. Unfortunately, though, I mess it up. And also, you notice that we touched Fuzzy, and now we're dizzy. One little interesting thing to note about this is they didn't animate Yoshi's fuzzy, dizzy eyes. When he jumps, he actually changes back to normal Yoshi eyes, and I just thought that was something a little bit interesting to note. Now, this is the last screen of the level, but there are no enemies here. So how do you get a 0 on your score? Well, you have to get to this little top area, where there are a few enemies, and you're gonna have to minimize your score and then run like hell. Because unfortunately, you can't actually get a 0 on this level. The lowest you can go is a 3. My OCD would like it to at least be a nice, even round number, 5, 10, something like that, but a 3 is just a little bit strange. It bugs me. Especially after having gotten 0s on the first 7 levels. Next up, we have our first castle level. In my opinion, this level is actually easier to get a 0 on than the first fortress level, which is kind of interesting. This first room is the hardest part. You just have to run through and make sure to jump very low and at the latest possible point to not get any of the coins above head, because those are pretty much all red coins. Once you've completed that, it's really not that difficult. Just grab a few eggs here for the next room. I'm not the biggest fan of this level. In my opinion, it's one of the few actually very forgettable levels in the game. Especially in the early portion. Pretty much all of the levels before this, I'd say, are very memorable for their design, their atmosphere, and all of that. But this level, it just doesn't have much that really stands out. It's very plain overall. And in that sense, it almost stands out because it's so forgettable, because I think this game is so well designed that almost every level just stands out for one reason or another, but this one doesn't, and for that reason it stands out. But anyway, to avoid getting a few coins, you're gonna have to jump on that guy's head, and then, unfortunately, over here, we're going to have to grab a couple coins. There's no way to avoid those 2 red coins. And so we've gone from 0 score to actually having some score in a matter of 2 levels, which is a little bit unfortunate. These platforms are a little bit of an interesting mechanic. Don't worry about grabbing any of the coins here, none of them are red. And here we have our first boss. Looks pretty harmless, right? Unfortunately, Kamek's gonna have to mingle with this battle just a little bit. Meet Salvo the Slime. Salvo is normally a fairly easy boss to defeat. However, if you're going for a low score, you can run into a few problems. The main problem arises from the fact that his physical health attribute is his size, and it's fairly easy to misjudge when exactly he's going to die. Now, timing is very important when you're trying to hit him exactly when you have a 0 on your timer, so I think you can see how that'd be an issue. Something kind of strange that I don't think anybody ever really notes about Salvo is Kamek's magic makes him into a lot of little salvos, which is a little bit weird. I wonder how he'd feel to be like the captain of the salvos. But anyway, the timing for Salvo is exactly at 0. You're going to want to hit him, and then if you do everything just right, then you should send Salvo to a explosive grave, if you will. And with that, we've completed the first world and the first 6th of the game. There are actually 6 worlds in Yoshi's Island, as opposed to the normal 8 in other Mario games. We've actually completed it with a meager total of 5 points. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and will join me in the next episode when we take on World 2.